right, guys, let's factor out your denominators. Okay, factor denominators. Okay, so I'm going to copy the top. I'm going to copy the top again. This second denominator is not factorable, so we will leave it. But this first denominator, our factors will be x plus 5 times x plus 2, just like that. So we will state the LCD. LCD, there you go. Remember, this is already over here, so we only need to take one, but not both. This is by itself, so definitely need to be part of the LCD. So now we are going to rewrite the LCD from, whoops, not pen. Let me just use the same color. If we have two fractions, rewrite it twice so we can see what was multiplied to the bottom, okay? So x plus 5 times x plus 2. Okay, so our original denominator here has two factors, and this has two identical. So there isn't any change from the denominator. So we don't need to multiply anything. Hence, we don't need to multiply anything to the top. Over here, this x plus 5 is here, and that x plus 5 is here. So that's not new. But what's new is we multiply this denominator by x plus 2. So that means we need to go up and multiply the numerator by x plus 2, and then drop down the 4 from here. Since our LCD are now exactly the same, I'm just going to make one denominator now, x plus 5 times x plus 2, and whatever the numerators are, we will now either add or subtract depending on the question. We are going to have section questions, so I'm going to write minus 4 times x plus 2. But that's not the end, right? Because we have to combine the top. I'm just going to write here again because we, on this step, don't need to do anything with that. But on the top, as you can see, negative 4 times x, students, is going to give us negative 4x, so 7x minus 4x. And then a negative 4 times a positive 2, that's going to give us a negative 8. So we must combine like terms on the top. 7x minus 4x, students, that's 3x minus 8. And that's not going to be factorable, so we are going to drop the LCD, aka your denominator, down, and we are going to box it up. But don't forget, we also have to state the restrictions. X can never ever be negative 5 or negative 2, and we box that up as well. So as you can see, the steps are factor the denominator, find the LCD, find LCD, 3, multiply top and bottom by the same term. Okay, we combine the top, aka numerator. Okay, we have 2 in this case, so we combine both numerators. Step number 5, state restrictions. Okay, now we always check to see if the new numerator after you combine is factorable to reduce. Okay, so 6, factor numerator and simplify if possible. Simplify is the same thing as reduce, okay, if possible. So as you can see, all the steps are very similar to one another. Now let's do example D. I'm going to make it bigger so we can see. Step number 1, factor if we can factor out. So that's x squared minus 16, difference of squares. So x minus 4 times x plus 4. Okay, to extend that. Plus 2 over second denominator, students, is not factorable, but you can put quantity around that if you like. So lowest common denominator, we have an x plus 4 here and x plus 4 there. You don't have to write that out twice in your LCD, just once. And then this is by itself, so definitely take it. So now we found the LCD, and guys, you can state the restrictions right away because the restrictions is always going to be from your LCD, okay? So with that said, we can say x can never ever be plus or minus 4. Box that up. And then now let's just work on the simplifying part. So this first fractions, we don't need to multiply anything since this denominator is the same as LCD. But this one over here, okay, your LCD is x minus 4 times x plus 4. Clearly, x plus 4 is in the original, but the x minus 4 is what we just multiplied. So we also need to multiply the x minus 4 to the numerator, which was originally 2. Now we are going to LCD back, okay, but now we only need one fraction because we are just going to combine the numerator. But we have to simplify because let's distribute the 2 times x and 2 times minus 4. So 16 plus 2x, 2 times negative 4 is negative 8, okay, over your LCD. Now we are going to reduce, okay, the 2x is by itself, so keep it. 16 minus 8 is going to be a positive 8. And then drop down your LCD. Remember, x minus 4 and x plus 4, those are you can write them in any order. Remember that we always try to see if we can factor out your numerator, okay, which we can take out a 2 here, students. So we are going to end up with an x plus 4. And then copy down your denominator. This allows us to reduce. Remember, we need to factor your final numerator and reduce if possible. And this allows us to say, wow, that's now 2 over x minus 4, which we have. Remember, we have to state the restrictions before we reduce, okay? So this is the first, that was not supposed to, that number 6 is applicable. That was not meant to be a cross out. Okay. Ah. Noon. Okay, so guys, this is out of all the examples we have done so far, this is the first time that we're able to factor out the last numerator and then reduce. Beautiful.